after brows, you go ahead and clean up any excess product that was left behind from that brow gel, and then you're going to go ahead and add some concealer to prime your lids. You want to blend it out all nice and neat just because you are going to layer some oh my god, I almost said concealer. You're going to lay some eyeshadow right on top of it while it is a little bit damp, so you don't want it to completely dry because that will help with the pigment. I'm going in first with a dark blue, and then I forgot to do the underbrow, so I just popped it in. Whenever I mess up a step though, I always keep it the same on the other eye, so it's not necessarily like I forgot it, but since I did that step on the other eye, I had to do it here instead of doing it before the blue. But I think that might be honestly OCD, I really don't know, but there's me stabbing my eye the usual, and that happens a million times off camera that I don't ever add in. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be real and just show that I always stab my eye, so that's what I did. Then I went right on top with a little teal blue moment. Now I'm gonna go in with that Epic ink liner from NYX Cosmetics, and I am going to do this quickly because I don't want it to dry. I want it to be a little bit wet so I can buff it out with a brush so I can get that depth in there in that liner. So that's what I'm gonna do. You can also lick your brush or spray it depending on if you have a separate client set or etc. But it wasn't necessary since this wasn't even dried yet. So I'm just buffing it out, and then I'll set that on top with a black eyeshadow just to really give it that true black shade, but also letting it blend into the blue like so. So I'm gonna just set it with some black eyeshadow, and I just am basically evening out all the dark pigment because look how fire that eye looks. That one's supposed to be done. Now I'm gonna go in with a dark blue again just to get that seamless blend, and I'm going right on top of that black just to give it that deep effect. You know, I really wanted this to be a blue moment, a little winter moment. I believe I did no, I did. Okay, now I'm messing up my words because this is what happens when you procrastinate and you haven't done audio in a couple days because depression. But that's okay because depression happens. It's life. Nobody's perfect. And you should never ignore your mental illnesses, okay? Because they will never go away unless you work on them. So, highly recommend therapy. I definitely have to go back, and my body is telling me that. But till then, makeup therapy it is. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just creating some little snowflakes, and the only reason I left in that audio of a car in the background is because at this time of night, it's never quiet on my street. There's always somebody in their loud car, and it's always like a little Prius and so I don't know. Now, to be completely honest, I was kind of starting to give up on this snowflake for a minute, but I just kept pushing because I was like, you know what, even if it doesn't look 100% like hers, it's okay because it's not hers, it's mine, and it's my spin on this. So I did mess up a couple times. I did remove it. It's okay because it is a hydro liner from MauilenaMu, so it's really easy to work with, and it's really easy to remove when you mess up if you do it quickly. Even if you don't do it quickly and it fully dries down, all you have to do is tap it with something damp because it's a hydro liner. Water does activate it again, so it will be really easy to remove. Honestly, I was satisfied with how the snowflake ended up looking, and I don't know if it was because of the amount of times that I messed up and I kind of had to settle, or if it actually looked good. But in my head, it actually looked good. So you know, I was messing with it. I was messing with the vibe. And then I went in and I kind of just added little small details afterwards, after creating that shape that I actually wanted. I was being super particular with the snowflake for a minute, and I don't think until the end did I realize that it really doesn't matter. Snowflakes don't even look perfect. So as long as you have the basic shape behind it, it's gonna look like a snowflake. And when I back up, it looks like a snowflake. So just don't look close, okay? Just close your eyes. Just squint a little bit and it will look better, okay? But yes, so after that snowflake, I went in and grabbed the dust off my lashes and posed for the camera. And then I went in and added some white dots just because I wanted to get that little snow vibes only during winter. So unless you live in Providence or the East Coast, I don't know why I was so specific. But anyways, speaking of which, I miss the East Coast. Now I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I'm going to go in with a brush and kind of work in sections. I did do this the other day when I was doing a no makeup look, and I liked how natural it looked because I noticed that the less product you use, the better it looks on your skin. There's not a lot of stuff sitting on top of it. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't feel heavy, and it lasts a lot longer too, because what it doesn't do is collect all the oils from the amount of product that is on your face mixed in with the natural oils on your face already. So it gives you like a small little base kind of for all your face makeup, but covers all your imperfections. So that's kind of what I did. I just kind of worked in sections and took my time with it. This is it sped up, obviously, because it took me a minute. It wasn't just like blotting foundation on a beauty blender and just going in. It was a little bit more precise, which honestly, this is how I've been doing my foundation recently, and I did it like this today when I went out, and I honestly loved how it looked. It didn't feel cakey, it didn't feel heavy, it lasts a lot longer, and with this mixed with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, I mean, it was perfect. So I don't know why I would switch it up. So yeah, this is basically what I did. I go in all the crevices, all the little empty spaces. I usually avoid the under eye in general because of foundation. It kind of builds up in your creases a lot if you do a lot of products. So it's usually better to just do less product under the eye, especially because we have a lot of lines and fine lines there. So that's what I usually do. I wait for concealer, which goes after this. This is my liquid contour from Bare Minerals, which is actually not a contour at all. It is a powder. Powder. It is a stick foundation. So this is the shade Sienna as a stick foundation. I let it sit, get a little bit tacky, just for more pigment, so it doesn't just disappear and go onto my beauty blender. If you know, you know, just try it out. But you have to be really cautious, especially with concealers doing that, because some concealers will set, and once you try to like blend it out, it will remove what's underneath. So that's something to be cautious of. However, because this is a contour and because this is a deeper shade, it is a lot easier to cover stuff underneath, which is not a lot, which is a really thin layer of foundation. Now I'm going in with my e.l.f. concealer, my 16-hour Camo concealer, not the hydrating one, the OG, because the OG is the best one. I tried to switch over to the hydrating one a couple times, wasn't a huge fan like I am for this one. If you use Shape Tape, I don't see why you wouldn't try 16-hour Camo concealer from e.l.f. It's a lot cheaper and it works. It's full coverage. Lately, my skin hasn't been obsessed with it just because of this really cold couple months we've had, or couple weeks we've had. I'm hella dramatic because it wasn't months, but the couple weeks that we've had with really cold, dry wind has kind of dried my face out a lot. And you know, my skin doesn't love that. This is a matte concealer, so whenever you use a matte on top of dry skin, it will show more texture, which is why powders usually show more texture in dry skin as well. So if you do struggle with that in your makeup routine and you notice that your skin starts to look a little patchy and you want to fix that, a really good way to fix that, if you don't already use setting spray, is setting spray. My personal favorite right now is the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I mentioned it a million times on my channel, but also on my Instagram and on my TikTok. It's one of the best setting sprays ever. Even at work, I'm always recommending it to girls because it is the only setting spray that makes my foundation actually last. When I rub it, when I lay on my boyfriend's shirt and shoulder, it doesn't transfer. So that's awesome, because it's hella humiliating when I get a huge cheek mark on a shirt. It's not my vibe. So I really recommend the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Now I'm going to go ahead and with that Pink Leaf Cosmetics Roll Up and Glow Up palette, I'm just going to bronze up the sides of my face, aka do my contour right on top of the liquid contour, just to get that depth back in there. And then of course, we're going to contour our nose. We don't go without contouring our nose lately. I don't know what it's been. I think I'm addicted. I've been trying to do less and less just because, you know, sometimes without makeup on my nose or makeup, I feel a little bit naked, and I don't like that. I like to love me for me. I always have, always will. I still love my nose, but I don't want to have to change it every time I get ready and feel left out. Like if I don't do my nose contour, I feel like I missed a huge step, because my nose is beautiful the way it is, and I don't need makeup, but I like makeup. So that's all it is. Now I'm gonna go ahead with some blush from the same Roll Up and Glow Up palette from Pink Leaf Cosmetics. Also use my discount code MauilenaXO. This palette is bomb. This is that pink OG blush. and you can't go wrong with a pink blush, honestly. Well, actually, you really can. You really can, and I have. I have a million times, so don't listen to me because I'm a liar. But the little, the little lessons in life is what gets us to where we are. So you don't have to look like a clown forever, just a couple weeks when you're learning. And of course, the one and only Pretty Vulgar's contour highlight on my chin, my forehead, and my nose, tip and the bridge of my nose. This is the Shimmering Swan highlight. This is featured in my TJ Maxx makeup video. So if you have not watched that, and I've had a couple girls tell me like they found some goodies at TJ Maxx. Actually, one of my good friends too has showed me some goodies she's found at TJ Maxx, and I've been trying to tell y'all you need to go to TJ Maxx to get you some makeup, because if you have a TJ Maxx near you, go stop in there, ask them when they restock on their makeup, and you will be literally shocked with what they put out. There's NARS, MAC, even Morphe, NYX, all of the good, all of the bad. So you pick your poison. But this is actually from Lime Crime. And I don't know, I think this might be a little bit expired because it was smelling a little bit funky, but I was already committed and my lips were stinging as well. So I don't think I'm gonna tag this down below. But something really similar is, it's like called Crushed Diamonds from Lime Crime. I'm not sure if they have more. They probably smell better when they're not expired and been sitting out forever. But this is the final winter glam moment. I did a little gem underneath my eyes, some bottom mascara, and I kept it simple. You know, I did do a dark moment because I was feeling dark. I was listening to emo music, and that's just what I do best. So I love how this came out, and I love the girl who gave me the inspo for the Snowflake. She's beautiful. I will tag her down below. Check out her stuff. She's a very sweet girl. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, night, year, and I'll see you next week with some more heat. Take care of yourself.